Good afternoon. And before I make a mistake, I'm not even ready to do this video. I'm going to be very, very honest with you. I'm not ready to do this video. I will show you what's in front of me so you can understand if you want to understand. But this is the way we're actually going to start this off. You've now tuned in to TACPANS, a new kind of TV where, guess what? I guess it's me. I'm going to be making up all kinds of stuff during this next 20 minutes and hopefully shorter. Now, when you're watching any other show on TV, where can you actually think and interact? Well, it's actually being created now, but at 42 seconds into the video, you've asked a question to me that I didn't even know because you haven't seen the video yet. And I'm going to give you the answer you want to hear. One of many answers that you will probably not even ask, and I will say, oh yeah, and you'll say, okay, should have thought of that too. It's just a channel. You can turn to any channel you want. You can go anywhere you want and listen to whatever you think. Now, I can coerce you to tell you my channel is better and 1,001 reasons. All I'm going to tell you is you know who I am if you're already here. I start with nothing. I talk a whole lot about different little items that might mean nothing to you. But if there was 100,000 people and everybody learned something in 5 seconds, 100,000 different people learned, but 7 billion did not. Those 100,000 people who have learned with 5 seconds of my time is 20 hours of TV. Do you think I can put out 20 hours of TV? It's your question that I might answer, and it might be the question that you're thinking you want to ask me that it's going to create a new thought where I'm going to come up with an idea that works somehow. Let's go. This is what I'm on right now. Dennis the Menace, Mr. Wilson. Whose son? The bed of creation, BCIL, the island, means his bed. Whose bed are you on? Dennis the Menace in the sin den. Why do I have to use den for Ned? And Ned was in a television program. Think and tell me what you know about Ned. En equals 2. What is the connection between the delta angle, which is a mind that does not think, but it has an energy that goes in that helps it to become alive, and where the soul now takes a thought and goes in towards the sin den. The D angle. This will open up anything you want. It is the X that crisscrosses that makes all ideas real. All you have to learn is how to, just like walking, learn to ask that question. We know when we take a D made this way and you turn that D upside down, it actually looks like an A. So there is no D in Dennis. It's de-ness. It's two sins. Because in French, if I was blind and you said de-ness, de, the word de, says two. Nis or sin, spirit intelligent. N is the 14th letter. You are on the cross with the N, meaning you're crisscrossing from one side. And the Z is doing this way, making an X boxed in by a 1 and 1. Do I have to design everything here and here? And there you go. You want no matter which way you do it. But there's a question with this. If these were your legs, you cannot do really the splits. So in all actuality, saying everything in this world says man, man this, woman, we'll use the splitting of the legs over to what I can say is, if you want to go 45 degrees on each angle, you will come up with 90. But over here, you'll go 67.5, 6, 7, and 5. For the reason is that you can open up your hands 180 degrees. But if you open up 45 and 45, between here and here is not actually 45 because the space is taking it. So you'd have to actually start with your head and give your head a number. Are you the quarterback? What is it about your head that gives your head a number? I always like to say, if this was 90 degrees apart, it would be split up 45, 45, but you can split up. But inside where the center of your core is, right down through your hole, the hole that can show up like this, or that can show up in the actuality of the truth of the name inside your anus. Bend over and look in the mirror. There's a clear-cut hole right there, just perfectly divided between your two legs. Perfectly divided between your two legs. So we had Mr. Wilson that turned into the sin, right? You ever heard of the bear's den? So what about the three bears? How about the porridge? Or how about the poor age, the poor of the people? P-O-O-R, poor. ID 49, which is the lowest and the highest you can go because the 4 is inside all the numbers except for 1, 2, and 3. There is no 4. I'm going to show you a card. There's the 4. Here, 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 and here. Well, in all actuality, somebody might come up to you and say it's not true because this is a house and this is a die cube. Howdy, H-O-W or W-H-O, which is who die. Who is die? Die, Dianu, die, Dianu, die, Dianu. It doesn't matter what I finish with. It doesn't matter if I know. It's the situation I am building that in Dianu, this is a die cube. Can this fit? If we were building a puzzle, I'm offering you situations and pieces for you to figure out where that piece would go, because in this puzzle, the pieces are all exact. The minute you deposit the piece, it becomes the situation that is relevant to around it. So instead of you actually building a puzzle with pieces, all these pieces would be whatever shape you want, surrounding into whatever it is around it. There is no 4 inside of this, but there is 1 inside of 5. This is where 1 and 4 come together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the way it should be made, but when it's made this way, you see the angle, more or less the Budweiser bow tie. Let's talk about this. This is the best 4. But when this 4 is held up like this, that's caution. And I can almost prove it to you if I can get 9 out of 10 people to say all the same thing. My first question is, do you drive? Have you been? Have you seen street signs? What happens when you put the soul on a street sign? The yellow soul on a street sign, you see most of these as a cautionary sign because the orange sign is saved for construction. When the red spirit and the yellow mix, they're always in construction. Please slow down. Bipolar people, watch out, because now you're going to get involved in how come we have become this bipolar. It's not we've become bipolar. We're now connected directly to what we have been calling as a spirit, but nobody's home because they have bypassed the spirit. Now we become bipolar because we're now connecting to the spirit, but we're newborn. Give us 20, 30 years. And also give us the reason to have a thought to ask the question if the reality of the question is real. Is it possible that we have taken off that crown off our heads and we're no longer blocked? The Jesus Christ thing that came in was a block. It was like a passage, like a SIM card. It was like interfering with a SIM card of some sort or hearing 2 radio stations on the same signal. There is no 4 inside 2. But when you bring 4 against 2, you do not get 6. You do not get 8. What I will show you, okay, is if I can find one more card here. Hold on a second. In fact, I'm looking through all the cards and there's no 4s left in the deck. I've looked through almost every single card and there's no 4s. I'm looking for a 4. Did anybody have a 4? Ah, there you go. There's your 4. There's your 6. And here's your 8. When I take, okay, 2 and 6 together, does it look like, oh, sorry, that's not the 6. When I take the 6 and put it with the 2, well, that's not the 4. This is the 8. Okay? Does it look like the 8 card? Is this the 8 card? Is this a 6 and 2, 8 card? Or should I take the 5 and 2? Or 5 and 3? Or is this the 8 card? In this card here, 5 and 3, electric company, you only have 4 and 2. 4, 2, and 1 into this card. The 4 corners and the 1 center. Plus the 2 up here. 1 here, 1 here. The 4 on the 4 corners on this side. 4, 2, and 1. This total card is actually worth 7. If we're running 2 worlds this way, it would be a whole different story, right? because they would clip off half the image, but I'm not going to get into that right now. These 4s, okay, when you put 4 over 4, you get 0 because you separate them into 2 worlds. I'm going to get into something else we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the word ing. Have anybody ever seen this? Has anybody ever seen? I'm going to hold this up. Hold on, I'm still writing here. You can wait for me a little bit. Yeah. There you go. H-I-N, hinge. H-I-N. H-I-N or Hines. Whatever it is, it's I-N-G. Bingo. C, okay? Bingo, dingo. What is a dingo? What was a dingo in Seinfeld? F doesn't do anything. G, H, because you can put it to hinge, but then you need to hinge the electric company to connect to the other wall. The hinge connects your door, which moves to the other wall. If you take up the hinge, they're both separated from each other. Their passage is the hinge. J, K, L. In French, you can go linge for standing, putting cord on clothes on a cord, which is your linge is your clothing. Now in here, there's a new game that just came out, but we're going to use all the words with ing. King, K-I-N-G. Bingo, king. Take away the king, you go kingo. So take a good look at the letters. Barack Obama, king. Now they just came out, and they have to explain, they just came out with a game called Kinzo. Okay, as far as I know, Kinzo, K for king. Kinzo. The I-N again, we changed the Z for the N because N and Z is the same. King Obama. Barack Obama to King Obama. B-I-N-G-O, 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 and bingo. Was his name O? Was his name O? So we're going to have to be relevant with this. Things that go along. How about Uranus? Let's call Uranus, since it's got that circle, nothing. N-O, which is the passage, the 9, it connects the 9, okay? The 9 connects in Uranus. Nothing, T-H, time heaven, I-N-G, just a hinge, moving time. General Electric, 9-4 is Uranus, the ridge for the angel residency of 4, because poor says 4, porridge. At the same time, you can say 4, because I made a mistake when I looked at it, and that's the way it broke down. Because once you bring in the light of 1 and 6, all you have to do is put in the 4, you have 1, 4, 6. Any which way you want, 1, 4, 6, 1, 6, 4. I don't care which way. 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 in Roman numerals is X. 6 times 4 is 24. In the alphabet, in the regular alphabet, in the simple version, is X. 24 and 10 is 34, and that says 1. 75 is nothing, but if you made it 85, okay, that would be the silver matrix, okay? If you made it 85, it would also include Jack, but we're not going to include this. This is electric company, okay? 14 equals 5, 2. 7 and 4 is 11. 1 and 1 is 2. 5 and 9 is 14. 1 and 5, 1 and 4 is 5. 5, 2, 2, 5 is all about Jack. The porridge, the General Electric. Now let me go to something a little bit more interesting if I can find it. Yesterday, I was looking at the chess pieces, and I was right. The rook is the rook. Okay? Where else am I? The sign of 0. Bingo, cargo, kinzo, ding, D-I-N-G, ding, dong. So ding now goes with dong, so we have to associate the two. Sing a song. Sing a song, make it happy, to laugh the whole life long. Code, 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 code. The minute they're rhyming, it's because it's telling a story that goes all together. Code, code, code. The music is the code. Right in the music. They got 2 jobs done, or even more. They can put out to millions at different radio stations everything through music. where everybody turns to the channel they want and they're getting the music that we need them to get. We need them to get what they want, because then they're happy and they want more. So it's in the music, whatever the notes are, whatever the tunes are, it's in the music. So they use the music to transfer it. Not only that, why change it twice? Put it back in the music. Sing a song. We also have Bing Crosby, and now we have to go to Pittsburgh because of Crosby, and Crosby steals Nash. Okay? Ping, now association with Pong. Pong, but there's also something to do with Star Wars and Pong. Ing, as king, is now married to the ring. When you say the 20 world in French, I-N-G, V-I-N-G-T, 22 and 2 is 42, the galaxy. Have you come to my palace? King of the palace, Park Place. Monopoly, okay, actually starts on 2. 0 is 1. You start on 2. There is no 1. 1 is the hole in the ground that joins the 2 passages. It is the center of nothing. It is everything when you're there. When it is nothing, it just exists. And that's what it is. Does it really matter what it is? Almost like saying, let's show up at the pitcher's mound. But everybody knows the pitcher's mound is do not enter. Have you ever seen the pitcher's mound? Take a good look at it. Put a circle around it. Paint the pitcher's mound white. Paint everything around it red. Fuck it. Paint everything around it white, and then paint the pitcher's mound red. Take a look, see what it looks like. So we all know that Boardwalk is actually supposed to be number 40, but it's not 40, it's 39. Because it starts on 1 and ends on 39, it doesn't end on 40. Because 40 is actually Boardwalk, but it's 39, which is 79. Almost everything is, if you want 2 numbers, I'm going to give you 2 numbers. Do what you want. 31 together or 9 and 7 together. You can do it that way. You can also go with, you can reverse that roll, and now you can go 46 together, and then you can go 28 together, and that would be time heaven. And when you do that, you have to overlap 13 and 79, because what I did is I mixed up low shoe with regular numbers. You see, I'm doing the simplest thing in the world. You can't get anywhere with what I do. Just let me say the story, okay? You can't go anywhere. I'm at the bottom of the list. So if you want to refocus and try to figure out which way I should go, then choose from the bottom up. When we go up to number 13, which is 39 plus 4 is 43. It's at this point here, which is the AC energy, that we've added up to know what level we are at and what we are going to do, where we are. But you cannot be any more than what you are at that level, because that's why you exist with those numbers. And Messer shows it all, right? And wow, just by the choice of any of his words, he's always going to have a number, but he always maximizes his number, and he spreads them out. So I don't want to say anything wrong. If I might have said something wrong, I'm sorry about it. He spreads it out in saying that he shows you multiple levels where the numbers actually exist. So take a look at these numbers exactly here. Take a look at these numbers exactly here. How do you see 138, 122, 122, and it's the same on each side? If one thing is missing, then maybe there's another connection that would leg off to one of these calculations. Anyways, this is just a 0. And all I did was take, you know, on the 9 of your keyboard, the brackets here, just make 4 brackets, and you turn into the number 4 again. You see the way your cube ends up? This is what happens from the cube. Because this 4 of the cube is not 4. This is the blue world. This angle, okay, and the purpose of this angle, okay, is because the highest 2 dice, okay, on the actual board is actually 3 and 4, because of the distance apart is less than 1, okay, and everything has to do with the number 4. 4 is Mars, 3 is Earth, okay, ISSI, Einstein, 15, listen to this, 59 and 15 equals 74, okay? That is Jesus. Okay, now I just wrote this down. I mean, and it's Jesus. 74 is Jesus. Okay. 59, part of Einstein. 95 and 15 is the highway that runs into Las Vegas. Okay. 9 and 5 equals 5. 4 and 7 equals 2. 5 and 2 is Earth, man-made. 79 is the Rothschild. 45 is the IT system, the IT system, intelligent, computerized system that runs everything. And then it's a little bit of management that control the things that aren't computerized, like men. We put them in order, and everything goes the way you want. The other thing I wanted to mention is in the Hebrew language, or the elephants are right here. This is where the elephants are. I don't know why they call them that, but if you take a look, okay, if you take a look, this is like an elephant. You know, what do I have to, would I have to design it? You know, just make his nose come off maybe over here, right? Maybe just pull his nose off a little bit. You know, maybe a little bit like an elephant. Some design that'll go over here that'll change it into an elephant. Now, if I change it into an elephant, now I have to go, what political party has the elephant? I'm just throwing things back and forth, okay? Then I went over the chess pieces, and I'm assuming that the horse, is that what they call it? Let me just take a look over here. The knight, okay? The bishop, okay? The bishop looks like he's holding two worlds, okay? The bishop in chess is holding two different worlds. See the V for life? He's holding this side of the V. He's holding this side of the V. The only thing when you see a V, you just see this side of the V. You see the two eyes and the nose over here? Do you see that? One eye, two eyes. The mouse, he's the mouse because he's got both sides. He hears what's happening on both sides. This is the dragon. This is the dragon, okay? 5 and 8 is spirit matrix, king and queen. This is the movement. The bishop and the knight each get 6, as they also each get 4 and 4. Why? Because there's 4 knights and there's 4 bishops for 2 teams. There's only 2 kings and 2 queens. There's only 4 of these. Compared to 4 and 4 is 8. For 8 versus 8 pawns, 12 pieces. And 4 pieces. Well, that's for 2 sides. I'm sorry, there's 16 pieces on a side. 8 pawns, 2 knights, 2 bishops, 1 queen, 1 king, and 2 rooks. Okay, and I think it's the rook that is the horse. Okay, I'm not sure which is the one that is the horse. Hold on a second.